do you think you're doing here, humans?
Welcome back to Game Things. Today's short feature is on the recently revealed gameplay footage for Hogwarts Legacy, which is set to be released at the end of the year for PS4, PS5, Xbox Series S and X, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. So for those of you that aren't aware, Hogwarts Legacy is an action role-playing game which is premised around the popular fantasy novel Harry Potter. In this game, you play as a 5th year transfer student enrolling into the all-popular Hogwarts. Yes, you heard that right. You are now a 5th year student. A bit weird that we aren't starting off as a 1st year, but perhaps it has something to do with our protagonist's backstory and his or her mysterious ability to wield the all-powerful ancient magic. Of course, because of the appearance of ancient powerful magic, there are dark forces at bay that seek to utilize this magic for their own purpose, and an example of them that you would have to face in the future would be dark wizards and goblins. But thankfully, you wouldn't have to face these enemies yourself, as you can in fact team up with various other characters such as your professors or even some other students that are your classmates. Additionally, if you get close enough to these characters, you might even uncover their backstory and perhaps learn a few new spells that can be added to your arsenal for combat. Throughout the game, you would explore and uncover various mysterious places. Just like in the Harry Potter series, there are quite a number of them to be found within Hogwarts itself, and unlocking these mysteries would be a challenge that players will definitely enjoy. Of course, there are also various other mysteries that can be found outside of school compounds as well, but the road to get there can be pretty tough, as you might face various magical beasts that guard these areas, and perhaps maybe even something like an all-powerful dragon. So far, we have introduced you to some enemies like the dragons, the dark wizards, as well as the goblins, but of course there are various other enemies like orcs and even dark corrupted magical beasts. Of course, with such a large variety of enemies, you naturally have a large variety of spells to deal with them specifically. Here are some spells that was revealed during the gameplay footage. These spells include Stealth, stunning abilities like Petrification or Levitation, and damaging abilities like a fire-based spell or a whip-based spell to knock back your enemies while dealing damage to them. Aside from spells, you can also nurture your own plants and magical beasts to aid you in combat. Speaking of nurturing plants, you will gain access to a place called the Room of Requirement, where you can harvest ingredients that you will need to craft gear or brew potions that can buff you in combat. In terms of the combat system, based on what was revealed so far, it is absolutely seamless, as you can change your spells with relative ease and counter your enemy's spells without too much difficulty. Since there's so many types of spells like most other games, you can choose to specialize in a specific branch that best fits your playstyle. All in all, the game features beautiful visuals and actually looks really good compared to most other Harry Potter games that came before it. So fans of the franchise can definitely feel excited for it when it's released. And that's all for us for today, folks. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more content from us. Take care and goodbye.